Watch us. Watch us shine every second. Born to move fans, cheer and clap. Two different legs. That's our clap. One built from science to help me on the day. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stay too long. You'll miss the hustle. Watch it. Bring to the most amazing parent anything.
GIA diamonds lowest prices ever. The jewelry exchange has natural 1 carat GIAs just $19.90. Custom mounts are just $4.99. Carat 50, $29.90. 2 carat 59.90. Thousands of diamonds guaranteed the lowest price. The jewelry exchange Overland.
If you walk out one of the Hills Beloved delis today, may look a little different. It's being transformed into a set for a new food competition TV series being filmed in the neighborhood.
First, the local showrunners taking advantage of Missouri's tax incentive to make their dream productions in their backyard.
Showrunner and director Tim Breitbach moved to Southampton 50 years ago from California, bringing his entertainment roots to the
We'd love to help here from spots here and do all those kind of things. And so to be able to film here is a huge bonus.
Ms. Shivers, Councilwoman Shivers.
Here. I'm here.
We can hear your background.
Oh, okay. I apologize. That's the news. I apologize.
That's okay.
Let me turn it off. But so you can hear me then. What? Can you hear me? I can't hear.
Can you hear me? I can barely hear you guys, but can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Karen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. I just texted.
Okay. Okay, I was just silent. That's all. I was
Okay.
just silent. So, but okay, I'm good. I'm just waiting for the meeting to start.
Okay.
Good.
Everybody okay? Hello, everyone.
Hello,
How
hello.
are you, Mr. Nelson?
I'm doing great, man. I'm in Hawaii.
You said to tell everybody, Dick. Which island?
Yes, I couldn't help it.
Which island are you at?
Honolulu.
Wow.
Good for you.
And
Thank you.
why are you there? You want to share with everybody?
Hey, listen, I truly needed it. Trust me.
Good for you.
Well, Councilman Nelson, why don't you let them know it was a birthday present for your wife?
Well, she just went out to buy a dress because we're going to a dinner cruise tonight.
Cool.
Okay.
Good for you.
For her 70th birthday.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Very nice.
Thank you.
What time is it there?
What time
And
is
my
it?
nieces and nephews, cousins, everybody's here.
What time is it there?
It is 23.
Yeah, yeah.
What time is
Yeah,
it there?
6:23.
Okay, 4 hours. Yeah, it took me 2 days to recuperate.
Okay.
Good for him.
Are you going to be so jet lagged when you get back?
No, I'm gonna go play some tennis
Or golf.
Well, you may need.
or golf, of course. How do I get this full screen going? I can't see.
You're on full screen right now.
Okay, good. I'm not computer savvy. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's 6:22. Oh, that's it's 6:22.
Yeah, let's wait.
Yeah, we should do it. You want us to move down with them?
Yeah, we'll move down.
do have
This is all we got. This is what we're gonna do.
Take your taxi to Tony. Which one? Is that a new diagnosis? Yeah, they were supposed to get that ICL surgery too.
Yeah, I don't think he had that. I'd say no. Thursday?
Doesn't matter to me. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna, excuse my mess.
Shoot back.
Yeah, that's the preservation meeting where we went to down there, 25th of October. That's where they're gonna put, look at the inside. It's built in the 1900s. Yeah, this is downtown Jeff City, and this is gonna be their new shippo office.
I heard you this
Now, it's
evening.
gonna be a couple, 3, 4, 5 years.
So we got these two.
Yeah, there's 4.
Oh,
Did you know you want me to bring you the sign in?
no, I was just saying if you wanted to.
I am.
sign
But I'm
on
saying,
the agenda.
I know, I heard that. I'm saying, do you want me to bring you the sign in or something?
No, I just have one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sam, I'll sign you in.
Anyone else? Baseball players. I thought you did. Cool.
Excuse me, can someone give me an answer for something? I need to ask a question.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yeah, if, do I have to be completely on the screen during the whole, meeting, or how does this go?
Well, when you vote, right?
Only for roll call votes.
Yeah, only for roll call votes.
Oh, okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
So Councilman, if you turn off your screen at any time, just when we take a roll call vote, be ready to turn your screen back on.
Oh, okay, cool, thank you. Well, you won't put me on mute, will you?
No.
You're already on mute. We can't hear you.
I guess I can put myself on mute, can I?
Now you're
Okay.
frozen.
This is new territory for me.
What's the weather like there, Councilman Nelson?
It is 72 degrees all day, all night.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It'll get up to, it may get up to about 80.
Yeah. Molly?
I'm gonna carry it. Like he said, don't carry it. Sugar have it.
Take your sled.
Not enough for that. Maybe once in a while.
What's
She was telling me she was some.
tiniest snowman?
So I said, you know, she was.
No, I think the fact that I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it to sit. Right now, like every day.
Okay.
Sorry. So that's what you do to me?
I need to get my glasses.
6:20.
Yeah.
A few seconds. We're just about there.
We got you back.
Yeah.
Can I have that phone? Yeah. That phone. It's outside the building. Girlfriend check on it.
Yeah, I think
No,
that
no, no, no,
is.
no. On your phone. Like an old phone, like a phone. You know what I'm saying?
One that public phone use.
Right.
Owned by,
The one that's
no,
on
that they have bought that, this was put over there.
That's the
Because
same
gotta figure it out.
application that construction's
Really?
presented.
So where people park at, that's not yours?
That's all that is.
They have bought that place.
Oh, what about the Japanese grass and stuff? Is that yours?
Looked
Like
over the plan.
grass and,
Yes, yes.
All right. All right, let's open up this meeting. First order of business, elect temporary chair. Mayor Pro Tem Yolanda will not be here tonight, so we need a temporary pro chair to chair the meeting.
Do we have to do a roll call first?
No, because we're just doing the public hearing.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
just for
just
the
a
vote,
public
okay.
I'll make a motion
Second.
to elect Tony for the mayor pro tem.
Acting President Pro.
Temporary
Acting-
chair.
acting.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. First order of business, public hearing, liquor license application, City Jump LLC, 7400 Natural Bridge Road. Swearing in, Miss Rochelle B.
hi?
This is swearing in card.
Oh,
No,
No,
come on. Okay.
you gonna do it?
No,
Okay.
go ahead and swear in.
I'll swear you in.
okay.
Just, I think for her.
Tony, you can, Chair Evans, you can just do it from the dais.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you know, I'm like.
Save you some steps.
Person.
I Judge Judy.
Okay, swearing in, Rochelle B. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Now, the city administrator will ask you a few questions.
Ms. B, have you or any officer, director, or shareholder of City Jump LLC been convicted of a felony or of any distribution, sale, or possession of any controlled substances or dangerous drugs?
No, sir.
Are you a person of good moral character, a citizen of the United States of America, a qualified legal voter, and a tax-paying citizen of the city of Normandy?
Yes, sir.
Have you had a license to manufacture or sell intoxicating liquors revoked within 2 years of the date of your application?
Never, sir.
Have you been convicted of the violation of any law applicable to the manufacture, sale, or rectifying of intoxicating liquors?
No, sir.
Has City Jump LLC employed any persons whose license has been revoked or who has been convicted for violation of the provision of any law applicable to the manufacture, sale, or rectifying of any intoxicating liquor?
No, sir.
Do you plan and propose to conduct your business in compliance with the laws of the state of Missouri and the code of ordinances of the city of Normandy?
Yes, sir.
All right, those are the questions that we have to ask by the code. If there are any questions for Ms. B.
Is there any questions for Ms. B? LLC?
Just to clarify, she's applied for a liquor license for all kinds of liquor and the sale of all kinds of liquor on Sunday for City Jump LLC, which recently got zoning approval. It's going to be a family entertainment center with food and bar. So if there's any questions from the council for Ms. B, now would be the time for ask, and then now would be the time to ask, and then after that, any member of the public or anyone within 200 feet of the establishment would be invited to come speak as well.
Council, do anyone have any questions?
I know we talked about the plan that you have for City Jump. I don't think some of these people were here. If you can clarify, is it going to be open to the general public or just to people who come to your I mean, if I weren't going to do anything and if I didn't want to play any games, just want to come in and have a drink, can I come in and do that?
I don't think it needs to be a bar, no. That's it. I don't think it needs to be a bar. I think it needs to be a family entertainment center, meaning that I don't want to contradict myself. So let's give an example. No, I do not want you to come and hang out and think you're going to party and snap your fingers like that. However, again, we want to entertain the college students. So let's say it's game night, meaning Lakers or football or something like that. We absolutely welcome them in. But I think that's a different setting versus coming to think that you are clubbing, to say. It's not a club atmosphere.
Or just a tavern atmosphere, like, you
A
know,
tavern is before my time.
They still have them.
So what happened at a tavern?
You go in, they might have had a jukebox, they may not. There's somebody serving alcohol, there's usually people sitting at the bar, some people sitting at tables. And they only came there to drink.
Okay, so there's not necessarily, there will be seats around the bar. I will agree to that. That's tricky. I think I'm gonna go with you all with some direction on that. But I don't think that if you came in and you just wanted to hear the pitter patter of little feet and enjoy children and smile, and you came in and you sat there and you had a cocktail, I don't think that I would tap you on your shoulder and say it's time to go. I would like people of all walks of life, of all ages, of all everything. It's intended to be a family entertainment complex. And if you are a single person and you just want to come out and be around people, I welcome it. So I hope that answers it. No, I don't. It's not going to be a jukebox playing or any of that. Unless it's an event like our tree trimming event. I'm trying like crazy to get going so we can have a tree trimming event before Christmas. And I could imagine that maybe we may play some Christmas carols then. But no, just like a rock and pop all day long. No, that's not the intent.
The temps, of course, you'll have to play their Christmas album. And
Okay.
you have to do
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm there. Any more questions?
I had a question for Jackie, but I don't know.
We'll come back to you. Councilman Nelson,
Yes, sir.
do you have any questions?
No, I think that she answered the questions pretty good. I'm in favor of whatever she needs to do. Thank you.
Councilman Shivers, do you have any questions?
No, I'm in agreement with her, and I'm really pleased that you are getting the arcade building together. It looks amazing. It brings so much more smiley faces to the circle there in Normandy.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm excited. Tidy
I'm
house
gonna
is getting installed today. Laser tag. Of course, it's exciting.
I'm there.
I'm ready for it too.
Laser tag.
I'm so broke.
Well, not be able to come in and beat Tony.
I thought you were gonna already come. They told me a few people came, so one of you all did come.
I came by one day, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, 2025 is gonna be your year.
I hope so. I sure hope so.
My only concern was I didn't want people like Councilwoman Valley said that people just come in. We want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. I don't want any problems for you. People just come and thought, oh, you know what? It's a game place, a little bar. I'm gonna go give you a drink and.
Let me say, I think the fact that children are there, those people that just want to have a drink and enjoy themselves, that's not where they want to be. It's a kids, it's a family entertainment place. So the objective is not for you to need to go separate from your child to have a sense of entertainment. So I think those that solely want to have a relaxing environment, that's not the space for them.
And you're planning a full bar.
Okay, so no, because I am learning more. I didn't take a deep dive into understanding all the parts of liquor, but I understand since I'm in childcare and the regulations to that, I've learned that it monitors the pour, the purchase date, and all that. It is our idea to serve packaged liquor but I would like a frozen margarita or something like that. It's definitely, I didn't really sit down with a planning team as of yet, other than what the feasibility study stated that we could make off of it, because it was just too premature. And this project, I've had to do it in phases. I couldn't take in everything at one time because it has been so very overwhelming. And it just didn't, I know enough about liquor to know that you can buy it prepackaged, to monitor it and things like that versus the pour. So I won't have to be in control of that. But I didn't take a deep total dive into it because it's like you go down a rabbit hole with each piece of this. And I'm still learning the entertainment and the safety portion of it. So.
Yeah, I mean, because they have, hard lemonade and stuff.
Yeah, we talked about, yeah. So it's my understanding, I did reach out to my food supplier, Performance Foods. They do not serve liquor, so they're waiting to determine if we get a liquor license, and they'll put us in contact with a liquor supplier. But I'm not saying that if you get the, the margarita slushy type thing, I'm not saying that you won't be able to get a shot of it, but I don't need a full bar. I don't want that to be the focus, the full bar.
I can't come in and get a martini stirred and not
I don't think I can handle all that. Let me be honest. I'm not saying that we might won't progress it over the years, but right now I can't support that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the capacity for all that just yet. And I'm a micromanager, and I'm starting to learn that to include things that I absolutely can touch and have control over.
Got it.
Got it.
Thank you.
Tony, I have one more question if you don't mind. Maybe I'd like to ask another question.
Go right ahead.
Okay, that is your name is Miss Bay?
B, just like ABCD.
Okay, thank you. You understand that I guess your parking is kind of limited, right?
Yes.
So you may be able to, I don't know, park in the neighborhood or something like that. Some of the cars in the neighborhood, is that understandable?
So according to the last hearing that we had, you all were going to make a certain side of the street no parking, but we learned that it's already
in the ordinance
as only parking on one side of the street.
Right. Okay. So just make sure that you let your patrons know that they need to make sure that they lock their valuables up and stuff, because we don't want to have a lot of theft and stuff like that because of cars and stuff.
Yes, sir.
How many spaces do you have in that lot?
I think it's 76 total.
That's a lot of space.
The Old Value Village?
Yes, sir.
There's 76 spots there?
Well, we counted the 5 on the front. Natural Bridge. 5 on the front, and then
Yeah, it was some.
67
It
or
was 69.
plus the 5 or something. Yeah, plus the ones on the front. Yeah.
It goes behind the gas station.
Yeah.
And I have a question.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you have meeting rooms?
We do.
Oh, good.
We do.
That works out fine because I run a little league baseball and
Right.
adult baseball, and I have over like 300 kids.
Mhm.
And my coach is always looking for somewhere.
Right, and that's the problem we
Yeah.
ran into, that we didn't have anywhere to meet. We do, and we have named them after historically black colleges as well. Okay.
All righty. Any questions from the audience? Oh, Ms. B, we're done with you.
Are they serving a hard liquor?
Okay, you wanna step up?
Come
to-
on up here.
Ms. B?
Yes,
By
sir.
the way, I'm,
Okay, thank you.
by the way, I'm the neighbor of course actually, back, the station
Okay.
next door. So being a hard liquor there, so are they serving a hard liquor, being a bar, because I don't have one.
I think
Oh, so-
regarding your question, this license would allow them to serve hard liquor. Based
Yes.
off of Ms. B's testimony, it sounds like it's not certain that they're going to be serving that, but this license would permit them to do so.
So why not me? That's what I'm asking.
I'm not sure about which, off the top of my head, which licenses you have.
I have a beer and wine license, not the hard liquor license.
Yeah, he has beer and wine only.
Okay. As far as, that's a question for the council, and I'm not sure when you got your permit, but there is also a difference. Hers license is by the drink, and yours is, from my understanding, by
It's
package.
packaged liquor, yes, yeah,
So,
So that's where my question stands.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, one of the things that the council and the community always considers is what the impact will be on our streets, the safety of our neighborhoods, how many people are hanging out, what the traffic impact will be. And part of getting a liquor license also means checking with the people who live in the neighborhood. So you would go through an application, we would hear it, we would discuss it, and then a decision would be made. But every liquor license is done on a case-by-case basis.
Is just a part of just a hard liquor, or just I already have one as a beer
Yeah.
and liquor license? They count as a liquor license, that's what I'm saying.
Right, you'd have to have a liquor license to sell that, and I looked at the list.
Right.
I wasn't here on the council when you got that license, so
Okay.
I don't know what the language in your license says.
I believe you.
Yeah, that was
I
tough.
mean, that was 10 years ago, basically.
Yeah, I
So it's
remember
not
when
now.
we first got it. It was a few years ago.
Yeah, it was in 2013. When I had it, it was 2013. So,
Yeah.
so if I had to reapply, can I apply?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
can
my
do that
question.
tomorrow if you want.
Huh?
You could, you can do it as soon as you
And
want.
then come
Thank-
to the council, right, and we'll review it,
Thank you.
right? Okay.
Thank you.
Can I answer?
Sure.
A package liquor license is like, you go buy a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of gin or a bottle of vodka. I'm not sure what a family-oriented venue needs a packaged liquor license for.
Those are
I mean,
two
it's
different
very-
entities.
I'm-
She's talking about, you're talking about two different things. She doesn't have a package, she's not packaged.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said you wanted a package license.
No, sir.
No, I believe what she applied for is a buy the drink. all
Liquor, right,
price.
okay, I'm sorry, I thought I heard you say
If I
package.
can make money off of it, I'll try.
All right.
No, I think she was talking about pre-packaged, like, types of
Oh,
drinks.
okay,
like
that's-
Pre-packaged cocktail,
okay.
like a cocktail in a
'Cause I-
can or something.
You know, you don't want a package liquor license at a family get-together. And what time will you be open till?
The open time has not been confirmed, but the wrap-up time is 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
Any more questions? No more questions, we can close the, public hearing for City Jump LLC. All right. Next public hearing, site plan review application, United Mart BP 7430 Natural Bridge Road. Sam, you wanna give a report?
Yes. So just a brief, we can talk about it more when we get deeper into the meeting, but just a brief overview of what this is in case anyone wants to make a public comment. 7430 Natural Bridge, which is the United Mart BP gas station, is seeking a building permit to do an addition on the side and rear portions of the building. There is an easel over there that shows just a exterior site plan of what the additions would look like. This requires a public hearing because it is part of our site plan review ordinance, and it is an addition to a building in the commercial district over 500 square feet. So this is not zoning approval per se. It is zoning approval, it's not a special use permit. We're merely, the council is just simply reviewing it, the site plan to make sure that the architectural conformity is good with the building as well as the traffic flow and things of that nature that have to do with the site, not as much as the use, which is already established by special use permit. This is going to be a resolution later on in the meeting, so at this point, it would just be appropriate to ask the public if they have any comments.
All right. Do anyone have any, comments or questions? Carrie?
Well, when I went through the plan, I mean, I like the expansion, I think that'd be good for your business. I kind of have some questions though. Are you expanding the number of gas pumps out front?
No. Only they stay.
Well, I don't think you have enough. But anyway.
We'll plan it.
Okay.
Over the next project. I wish I can, but it's no, I don't wanna block the access on both sides.
Yeah, I know, yeah, okay. And so I have a question about the gaming portion in there. What kind of games? Are those gonna be gambling machines or what?
No, it's not a gambling machine.
So what is it?
It's just
Pinball?
an entertainment event for the customers.
Like pinball?
No.
What? Like what? That's what I want.
Pac-Man, that kind of stuff, electronic games?
Yeah,
Like an arcade game.
Arcade. Arcade, yes, okay. But not gambling. That's what I want to know. Okay.
So those machines will let them pay you when you play?
Well, that's what I wanted to know.
That's what I'm trying to find out. I thought they paid you when you play.
Well, because, you know, that's a big controversy in the state right now. Is that gambling or isn't that gambling? So that's what I wanted to
There, I may be able, so
Yeah.
I believe what's in the gas station right now are considered no chance games, which are kind of in a regulatory, I would say limbo, but they are also in a safe, like they're not regulated by, or they are permitted by St. Louis County and state of Missouri. And so they appear very similar to slot machines. However, they do tell the person if they're gonna win or not, so they don't technically fall under the code as a game. Now, some states have taken an approach to treat them as gambling machines. However, our ordinances do not do that, and the state of Missouri currently does not do that, and St. Louis County currently does not.
So the reason for the expansion is to add more games?
No.
Okay.
That's not a question.
No, it's my storage room is the biggest issue I have.
Cool.
That's my biggest concern I have. I'm not even worried about that so much.
You
But I don't have a lot of space.
Yeah, you don't have, yeah, it's very small in there.
Yeah, so that's what it's congested about for my customers
Right.
and for myself, for the
Yeah.
staff rooms. You know,
Right.
basically, I don't have enough counter too.
Well,
So,
you have coffee machines and
yes,
that
we
sort
do.
of stuff.
We have coffee and fountain sodas.
So you're expanding for coffee?
Like I want to
fountain,
make more
soda.
roomy, basically. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
The floors are very small. The
Right.
sales area is very
Sure,
small for
right.
me, so I'm pushing it back a little bit. The cooler's pushing it, getting almost, maybe I get almost 200 for the floor. Extra 200, something like that. Plus the staff room I have, the one I have is addition that they, whoever did it, I don't know, but it's not, it's almost falling down basically. So I'm trying to do it on the right side, I mean, next to my building on the post office side, that don't bother nobody.
A lot of his storage is, you know, backed
Can you
up.
come stand up to the podium so, yeah, because we got everybody in the audience sitting there.
Yeah, the
Let's come up to the podium. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My name is Junior Viva. I'm working with
Okay.
Al as the general contractor. As he's mentioned, the addition is for storage, basically because he has a lot of the merchandise sitting on or near on the aisles on the outside where he is. So that's where.
So let me ask a question. That extension, does that extend to the post office side?
That's gonna correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, and we've spoken to the post office as well. I know it's one of the notes they noted there. There's a gate down there.
Right.
They closed it off precisely because they were having too much traffic going around there. So the addition wouldn't, you know, have any trouble with the traffic flow that goes on the property.
All right. Is there any more questions? Councilman?
I would like to, I have a question.
Go right ahead, Councilman Shivers.
Okay. What's the gentleman's name? I didn't hear it.
Gino Vivo.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
I wanted to inquire about what are the the feet? How many feet are you extending the building?
There's 20 feet going out, going west of the building towards the post office, and there's additional, I'm sorry, it's 15 feet going back towards the post office.
Okay. So you're going deeper too, okay.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I wanted to inquire about. Thank you.
Yes, no worries. Thank you.
Councilman Nelson, do you have any questions? Councilman Nelson?
He's in Hawaii.
Does anyone from the general public have any questions?
Yeah, excuse me, Tony?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd have a question. I'm sorry, I think it's a good deal, you know, as long as we get some type of businesses that are, important for our city, you know. Are you a resident, sir?
I am not a resident. I'm representing Al from the property there. He's the property owner there.
Okay, who is the property owner? Who is he?
Al Patel, he's here.
Okay, is he a resident?
The residents of Normandy, city of Normandy?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so where do you live, sir? Just like to ask.
It's Creekor.
Okay. So what do you think that's going to bring to our city?
More cost, more tax revenues. When I get busy, it's tax revenue. And they make it look nicer in the city because they're building, I think, another building right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just want to know that answer. You know anyone from the city of Normandy?
Just cooperate. They are cooperating, but I want to be cooperating at the same time to be nice and easygoing.
Okay, all right, thank you. What is your name again?
Al.
Okay, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any more questions from the general public? If not, we'll close the public hearing. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Council Bill 2422, an ordinance of the city of Normandy, Missouri, rezoning certain portions to MU mixed use and directing that the official zoning map of the city of Normandy be amended to reflect such changes. All right, Sam.
All right,
Give us a report.
and again, this will be on the agenda later for a first reading, so we can go into more detail, but very briefly, on the second easel over there, you'll see the City of Normandy General Land Use Plan. All the parcels shaded in brown along the Natural Bridge Corridor on like the middle portion of the map. Those are all up, this bill would rezone those, most of them in the F district right now, which is our general commercial district. It would rezone them to the mixed use district. And for those who aren't familiar, the city council earlier this year established the mixed use district, which essentially loosens up a lot of the zoning code from the F district and would allow developments that have multiple uses in the same building, including residential on the second or potentially third floor. And there are some other slight changes, generally looser parking regulations in the F district that would just allow for potentially more development and more options for developers. So this is, for a city of our size, a fairly large rezone, and hopefully would potentially lead to some development and some positive change along the Natural Bridge Corridor, I believe is the idea. And we'll talk more about the ordinance later on in the meeting, but now's the time for public comment about the rezoning.
All righty. Do we have any questions or concerns from the general public? Anyone have any questions? Anyone?
You wanna go first?
No.
I'm sorry, Tony. Tony?
Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Can you state your name and address?
My name's Tim Dully. I live at 3714 St. Anne Lane.
All right.
I'm a former planning and zoning committee member for I don't know how many years. And I wanted to revisit part of this brown shade that happens to be across the street from my house. You know, we had an issue like this come up before when the funeral parlor wanted to purchase a piece of property that butted up to Augusta, the last piece at the end of Augusta. And at that point in time, the general thinking was we wanted to leave the residential quarters residential. The Merchant Temple somehow got that piece of property that extends their parking lot all the way back to Augusta, which, in my opinion, never should have happened. Now, and we're looking at the corner of St. Anne's Lane and Nassau Bridge where that little, I call it a medical center. When that was put in, the agreement was there would be no access from that parking lot onto St. Anne Lane, therefore keeping it on Natural Bridge as opposed to St. Anne Lane. And now you're asking to extend that property all the way up from Natural Bridge to Augusta. You know, there's been several proposals and even some drawings about making that into a park of some kind. I know the city owns the property, right?
Yes.
And they went to great expense to tear down the building that was there. It would be a shame to see that become commercial. It would ruin our neighborhood, quite frankly. You know, and the Parks Board is promising to put a park in every ward, and our ward would be the old fire station in Pasadena Hills. And I know there's a lot of controversy around that, but you know, it does make sense to me to put a Normandy Park at the very edge of our boundary, all the way up against Pasadena Hills. That no residents would go over there. It would be a Pasadena Hills Park. You know, just give the property to them and make the park for our ward along St. Anne's Lane instead of trying to possibly squeeze in a multi-use commercial property. You know, make it a single family residence or something. But you know, we dealt with that home there for years, and the last thing anybody wants to see is more commercial property across the street. You know, and what is really the low-density residential part of it. And great, keep the development on Nassau Bridge, keep the development on Florissant Road, but don't let it eat into our neighborhood like we already did with the church. So that's. Can I throw out one more thing? Totally unrelated. While I got this floor, my driveway has become a crime scene. 3 times in the last week, I've had my car windows beaten out and vandalized and my cars ripped through. We've made police reports, and I talked to a couple of neighbors, and apparently there's something going on along Augusta. Also, there's been other cars broken into, and the city of Belmar is having problems. I'm afraid to leave my cars in my driveway. I mean, I have spotlights in my driveway, and I was wondering, can I bring them over to the police department and park them over here since I don't feel safe having them in my own driveway?
That's really a question to address outside of the public hearing.
Yeah, can we address this?
All right, well, it's a public hearing, so.
Can I talk to you after the meeting?
Sure.
Yeah, Vicky, she's.
On the fourth floor.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And you can also talk to Chief Sanders.
I had the floor, so I thought I'd throw that.
Okay. Any more questions? Terry?
Well, thank you, Tim. That's why I let you go first, because I was gonna talk about that. So that's half of what I was gonna ask. Okay. So I just have a few questions. Oh, can I go over to the board and it'll be easier?
Go right ahead.
So, so mixed use means, you know, like residential on the top and
Business
commercial on the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. So, I'm gonna call this St. Vincent's because I can't remember the other name. You know, St. Vincent Orphan Home.
Sure, okay.
So, is that gonna be commercial mixed use? I mean, I know when I was on the council, they asked to be included in that, and they wanted to be part of the plan, and they wanted to be mixed use, but now it's changed hands and everything, so are they in agreement with that?
Sam?
From the conversation I had, and it was a few months ago, and obviously, I believe it is still owned by the St. Vincent Society.
Oh, is it?
And I didn't, speak with all the members,
No,
but
it's not.
it's, okay, I'm not
It's a
sure.
core collective now.
Right,
Yeah, but I didn't know.
The church is completely out.
okay. So it sounds like they are open to it because the mixed use, but right now, I believe they're zoned single family, so they're non-conforming use. They would better fit into the mixed use district, frankly, because it would allow multiple uses within their fairly large building. And they do have residential as part of their mission right now. And so it would open up possibilities with that. It would allow them to have multiple uses as well as the parking restrictions not be as restricted. They also have a few acres of undeveloped land, and I'm not sure what their plans are for that, but it would allow for more than what is currently allowed in the zoning district that they're.
Okay, yeah, well, that's why I was asking, because, yeah, senior housing, I think they're great. But anyway, okay, so then I had a question about, well, Tim already talked about that. Oh, right here, so this is like St. Anne's, this must be the library, here's the nuns property, the USDA, and this is you. So, doesn't this belong to UMSL? Are we rezoning their land mixed use?
This ordinance would do that. I will say that they do not require, or they have their own zoning authority.
Right.
So if they own the property, they do not have to.
They can do whatever they want. Well, that's why I kind of wondered why we were.
It was identified in the general land use plan.
Oh, okay.
So despite the fact that it's not going to be particularly effective, however, if they were to ever sell the property or enter into some sort of agreement where they would relinquish their zoning authority through either, and I'm not sure, not a legal expert on that, but then we would have the underlying zoning, because right now the underlying zoning, I believe, is multiple family.
Okay, so then, see this little property up here? I think this is the city-owned property at Bermuda and 70.
Yes.
So, and you all own that little house behind there?
Yes.
Could you make that brown so that if somebody wanted to buy it to extend a parking lot, then, they could tear that, it'd make that nice corner. So that would be nice. And let me see, what else? And then Parchester Park is gonna be mixed use?
It is not part of this ordinance, although it is on the general land use plan. So this ordinance just did what is around the natural bridge corridor. It did not do any of the other.
So we're not going here?
Yeah.
Right, although we
Okay,
could.
but I did have that question.
We could, I guess, is, because in order to rezone anything mixed use, it would need to be consistent with that plan. So, like you asked earlier about the Sinclair Station,
Yeah.
if we wanted to rezone that, we would first need to amend the general land use plan.
Okay, but we're not talking about this.
But anything that's in Brown, we would not need to amend the plan to rezone.
Ooh, it's like if you want to put some mixed, well, maybe multifamily in Parchester Park, you could do that?
Well, yeah, so.
According to this.
Yeah, we could zone it mixed use.
Let me just see if I get anything else. Oh, well, and so that's the same thing. So this UMSL property down here, even though we've zoned it commercial because it belongs to UMSL, doesn't matter.
Right.
Right, it doesn't, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all the questions that I had.
All righty. Thank you, Terry. Any more questions? General Public, any more questions?
I have a question.
Is that Ms. Shivers?
No, my name is Darlene.
State your name and address, please.
My name is Darlene Foots. I'm at 7505 Natural Bridge Road.
Okay.
And I can't really tell. I'm sorry, I started to come, but I figured I could do better. I mean, I could do okay doing it through Zoom. But I'm looking at this map on the public notice that you sent out, and I can't really decipher where my house is on this map. So, and I guess that's why I was confused, because it's most of this rezoning for mixed use, is that more on the south side of the 7500 block?
Yes, that is correct, Ms. Foots. There are no, in the 7500 block, none of the single-family houses on the north side are being rezoned.
Okay, that was my question pretty much. I couldn't tell from this map because I saw brown and I'm like, is this my area or my house or whatever? So I just wanted to make sure because I thought, okay, that's a better map. I can see that. Where is in this map are we talking about? Because I don't see an address, you know what I'm saying? I can't see streets. Only thing I see is Natural Bridge. So I don't know what part of Natural Bridge.
I believe you see where the cursor is.
Uh-huh.
I believe that's your house, Ms. Foots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good deal. That's all I needed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more questions? All right, we'll close this session of the public hearing. All right, next on the agenda is Council Bill 2423, an ordinance of the City of Norman, Missouri, amending Chapter 405, Article Section 405.795, initiation of change, reference to and reporting of zoning and planning commission. Public hearing by altering the time within which the zoning and planning commission must deliver recommendation and report to the city council. All right, Sam.
There is no fun map with this one. This is just a text amendment to the zoning code. The zoning code currently allows the Planning and Zoning Commission up to 30 days to render a decision and report to the city council. This would change that from 30 to 120 days, which would give the Planning and Zoning significantly more time to work on issues referred to them by the city council.
So you're talking 4 months.
Right, and again, like the other ones, we'll do have a first reading later on in the meeting. Now's the time for public comment.
So prior was 30 days, now it's
Right.
120 changes, okay. All righty, any comments from the residents?
So if it doesn't take
Have you
120
stated your name
days,
and address?
Terry Gannon, 3620 Harrison. So if it doesn't take 120, you don't have to wait 120 days.
Right, so
So if you could do it in 30, you could do it in 30.
right,
Okay,
yes.
that's all I want.
Sam, can I ask a question? What prompted this? Was there any particular project that, well, I know that the USDA building has taken an awful lot of time, but
Well, there is nothing that's prompted it because almost everything that the P&Z has done recently has taken longer than 30 days and the council has not decided to exercise this.
Got
It's just something that we've been aware of and we keep
Okay.
running and we keep seeing and it's just not.
okay.
All right, are there any more questions or comments? Council? Any questions? Councilman Nelson, you have any questions?
No, sir, I'm fine. Everything's seems to be on point to me.
Councilman
Thank you.
Shivers, do you have any questions?
Not at this moment. Thank you.
All righty, so we'll close this session. All righty, that ends the session for the public hearing regular meeting. And now we're going into the regular meeting portion.
Yeah, roll call.
Yep, roll call.
Councilman Foxenheimer?
Sure.
Yeah.
That closes up public.
Karen Cleveland?
Yeah, you guys can.
You're gonna have to answer.
Councilman Jackson? Councilman Evans?
Yes.
I
here.
can't hear you, Miss Cleveland.
Roll call, Councilman Shivers, she's roll call.
Councilwoman Shivers?
Present?
Councilman Nelson?
Yes, Honolulu.
All All righty, pledge allegiance.
Councilwoman Diane.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Councilwoman Kimbrough is absent, you have a quorum? Yeah.
All right, guys, pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right, approval of the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty, presentation of petitioners, remonstrations, complaints and requests, citizen comments. Citizen comments? Come on up, Tim.
Is this parking
Yes,
properly?
this is very tough.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about what's going on here and, you know, am I the only one or is there indeed a bigger picture that needs to be addressed here? Nobody knows anything.
No,
Chair, would you like, would you like Chief to answer that or just? as
Yes,
a stop?
Chief, can you answer that? Or?
Sure, Madam.
Okay,
I was waiting to be acknowledged.
I'm sorry. I
No,
apologize.
it's okay, you're good. So yes, it's a part of a larger problem. Regionally, we've seen the car cloudings and the car thefts since COVID. There's a lot of kids that are outside, a lot of people that are
Yeah, but
home
it
now.
hasn't been going on in Normandy.
Oh, no, it has. It just hasn't hit your area because typically you guys are not close to a highway. However, with areas that surround us not getting adequate patrol service, I can let you know that a neighboring community had more than 30 cars clouded that same night. Normally only had 2 or 3 in the Augusta, St. Anne's area, and then we had 5 in Belridge Acres. Of the 5 in Belridge Acres, 3 of the vehicles were left unlocked, and of several of the ones we had in Normandy, the vehicles are being left unlocked. It's the holiday season.
Mine was unlocked, but they chose to break the window rather than open the door and turn the light on.
Yeah, a lot of them are unlocked. We always give the helpful pointers to citizens and residents. It's the holiday season. People are a lot more desperate right now. We encourage people to keep everything in their vehicles out of sight, clean out your cars, don't leave bags.
It was out of
change.
sight, it was in the glove compartment.
Well, I'm not speaking to you.
Yeah,
as
I
a
know,
civilian.
I did. I'm sorry, I'm just frustrated, I apologize. I got nothing else.
All righty. Any more
Ramona.
comments?
Okay, I'm sorry. Ramona Charleston.
Ramona Charleston? Is she on Zoom?
I just signed in.
Oh, so you didn't have any comments or questions?
Terry Gina?
Last or yes?
Okay, Terry Gannon, 7620 Augusta. Okay, so I do have one comment, and I think it kind of relates to what Tim's talking about. I've been concerned about the city-owned property behind my house because I've noticed a little activity going on over there, and somebody's kicked in the basement door. So I had my contractor install a camera that, you know, in that back part of the yard, which y'all have not cleaned off the fence. So I can't really see back there.
So
but
you're directing that question to Dennis?
Well, to letting you know that there's something going on with the house that you own and the back basement door is kicked in and maybe there's some homeless people living there. I talked to Tony over at B&B and he said absolutely there's homeless people living there because he sees their stuff in his, you know, between his property and theirs, and they're keeping their food and sleeping materials by his place, and he has confronted them and talked to them. So, I mean, if your car's being broken into, that could be a source. I'm just telling you.
And that explains why they found a wallet that was taken out of a car on the parking lot over there.
There you go.
If someone, just, I know you didn't ask for a response, but if you guys see these things, you have to see something, say something. We can't see the rear of the property, so if you see something where there's a house that's been broken into, city-owned, vacant, not city-owned, call the police immediately.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
clear the
Tony
residence.
told, well, can I
We'll
go talk? So Tony told me he did make a report, and I can, he saw me in the parking lot, And he told me that he was just coming back from making a report, so I didn't think I had to make a report if Tony already.
I don't mean about the cloudings, I mean about squatters.
Yeah, that's what Tony made the.
We don't have any reports of anything regarding that house.
Really?
I know about the car clouders, and the car clouders had nothing to do with the squatters.
Well,
The
that's why I
car
didn't make
clouders
the
were people
report.
that, they hit on the flock cameras. So when they hit on the flock cameras, the officers saturated the area, patrolled and drove them out. Because there was police presence in here, they only got a few cars. They went to a neighboring community and got almost 30, where there is no police presence.
Okay, well.
Yeah, because I
That's
agree
it.
with that. If you see something, report it right away, because if
I
you
did.
wait a week later.
I made 3 reports.
You know. Got another question, Tim?
No, I made 3 reports.
Okay.
Not just about the cloudings, about the vacant building,
Yeah,
that's what we're
yeah.
talking about.
Any more questions?
I didn't sign the list, can I hop up there?
Sure, come up and state your name and address, please.
Hello, my name is Stacey Parker. I'm at 7815 Fairway Drive, and my terrain got rifled through. I forgot to lock the door. That, you know, I had my hands full. I forgot to lock it. The next day, an officer, and I cannot remember his name, but I'll look at the report again. Came to the door, and he had my dad's old driver's license, because he keeps all kinds of stuff in the terrain, and some like other odds and ends. And he was like, "Do these?" Apparently, they went through the terrain and they just started. They didn't see anything of value, so they kind of like left a trail down the street. And so the officer on patrol stopped and he just gathered everything up. So I wanted to just thank who that officer was. I didn't get his name. But and then also like for me to like remember to lock the door. But at the same time, it shouldn't be happening in the first place, right? So I appreciate the fact that, you know, folks your officers are doing patrols and trying to find the perpetrators. But it's a little unsettling, you know, when something like this happens. But hopefully you won't see too much more of this. But thank that officer for me.
Yeah, they got me 2 years, but I left my door.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I wanted to address you. You know, in my little note here, I put down, I've been here 40 years, and I'm proud to tell everybody from outside our community what a great place we have, how safe I feel, and this is the first incident that I personally have had at my home in the 40 years I live here. So I don't mean to cast aspersions. I said, once I didn't even think twice about it. I called police, made a report, but the second and third time in a week, that's disturbing to me. So anyway, thank you.
All right, any more questions, comments? All righty, we'll close this portion. Yeah. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Have it. All right, next on the agenda, annual report of Public Works Director. Did we miss something?
Mayor Pro Tem actually.
So consent agenda passed, so we're on the report of officers.
Oh, did I skip something? Consent agenda. Well, here you have, okay, that's on the consent agenda, okay. Report of officers.
So Mayor Pro Tem Campbell has asked me to read her report this evening. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and read it verbatim. Good evening. Unfortunately, I'm unable to attend tonight's meeting. My son unexpectedly was taken to the emergency room due to illness. Please contact me via email. Thank you to all veterans, past and present, for your service to our country. Thank you to Chief Sanders, Normandy Police Department, and all the volunteers for the beautiful trunk or treat last month. The event was a huge success, and we look forward to seeing it grow. Afterworld has installed a little library to build community and inspire all readers, no matter the age, at 7276 Natural Bridge Road. Please stop by to take a book or leave a book, and she highly encourages that. St. Louis Community College and Castle will have an energy assistant event Monday, November 18th, Thursday, November 21st, and Monday, December 2nd. Visit stlcc.edu/events or the Normandy website for more information. And lastly, residents should have received a calendar flyer of leaf back services as noted, passed out by the Public Works Department. The calendar of all dates for collection will be posted on the website and begins November 18th in Ward 1.
Thank you.
This report.
All righty, council members, anything to report?
Am I allowed to say anything about the leaves? I can't say something?
No. Yes, you can.
Well, I know that we're supposed to be the first on the list, which is November 18th, so we're doing it twice, so 3 times? Is it 3 times? Oh, I didn't realize that. But it starts next Monday, right? Is it the 18th through the 20th? Not the, oh, it's just our ward. Are you doing the 18th, 19th, and the 20th? For the whole 3 days? Okay. I don't have any questions. And we haven't received the flyer, that's what I'm asking. I know. But when is the 18th, Monday, is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, because we haven't received the flash, and I know you said you tried to make copies and copies.
Everybody's got theirs but one.
Except for the biggest ward, really?
I got one today.
What did you want?
Was it mailed?
No.
Drive
We
away.
went for order out of order now.
Okay. And to Chief Sanders, oh, sorry, I call you Chief, Colonel,
Whatever.
okay. The police department did a fantastic job of trunk or treat. Folks left out with huge bags of candy, and Sam did his best by going around refilling the bags, refilling everyone's trunk, but, whew, there was a lot of kids, and Kiana did a great job with the face painting, so next year, I'm looking forward to all of that. That was wonderful. You guys did a great job. Officers were just wonderful. It was just so amazing. And next year I'll probably dress up. I'm done.
All right, Stephen.
I have 2 things. First thing is October 25th, I'm on the Historic Preservation Committee. Doug Aiken and I took a field trip to Jeff City for an annual convention. It turned out very well. We toured a international shoe factory that the SHPO people were going to preserve, built in early 1900s. So that was interesting. We got a lot out of it. It was very nice. The second thing is, I just wanted to piggyback on the trunk or treat. Absolutely awesome. I mean, it goes to the 24/1 on down. Everybody. We had 300 to 500 people. We couldn't ask for anything more. So we all understand the work you put in. Thank you.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
I was gonna ask, Chief Sanders, some communities a few years ago had a movement that the police would be surveying people, or they could volunteer to let you know if they have cameras at their house, so when something like the cloudings happen, people could be asked about what they've seen. And when did you say that yours was broken into? Was that?
Last night,
Got it.
Saturday night, and Thursday night.
Wow, 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah, I have on my, and the reason I ask is I have cameras like everywhere. And a package was stolen from my house yesterday. I didn't actually see the people on the camera. It happened within, I would say, 45-minute span where I actually did see people or movement there. But what I did get pictures of is a dark SUV with lights flashing in front of my house, because hardly anybody goes around there. So if we could somehow reach out to folks who have security cameras, so when things like this happen, we have an email list of those people, and we could send them emails saying to check your cameras, this is going on. We might be closer to helping solve some of this. It happens very, very quickly. A package was delivered, and within 30 minutes, it was gone. So, I don't even know what it was. But yeah, I think that to see something, say something, I think people are very reticent sometimes to get involved. They'll call me or they'll call someone else and say, but I said, you know, and sometimes they don't even report it to the police, which I don't quite understand. But we all, as members of this city and our greater community, I think have an obligation to help to try to take care of one another. And the police can't do everything. So again, as Tony said earlier, if you see something, say something. But what I'd like is some means for people to be able to do that and get at least an automated response back that say, okay, we got it. And that we could send email blasts out. So I am going to be proposing to the council that we look into expanding the opportunities to create a citizens portal on our website that would make it easier for people to report and to get some response about concerns that they have.
All righty. Councilman Nelson, you have anything?
Yes, thank you, please. We had a great tournament. That's October 26th at the high school, at the Connector. We had kids from all over St. Louis area and Illinois. It was a great thing for our Normandy school. Channel 2 and Channel 5 came down and covered it, which was awesome. And we also have the second tournament coming up this Saturday. If you're not doing anything, maybe come down and watch our kids compete in the chess that we have. Because, you know, chess is getting big here in the city of Norman. It's big all over, you know, and I'm with the Gateway Chess League as one of the officials and the district chess coach. It's a good thing, and we just want to do things for our kids, and I think it's a good thing to do right now. So that's pretty much all I have to say. And also, second thing, I think we need to have a little bit more visibility because we have had some cars breaking into. Actually, our council person had some. Mrs. Shriver's had some vandalism on her car. So those are things we're going to have to address, just like the gentleman spoke about someone breaking in his car. So, I mean, you know, the thing is we're going to do the best we can, but I think we need to have more visibility with our police department. And we'll work on that too. But other than that, that's all I have to say. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Councilman Shivers?
Yes, I wanted to add to Councilman Nelson and Miss Vicky's comment about the cameras and if the information can be shared. And I know the website hasn't been updated in years, but there needs to be some type of communication because residents of Ward 3 I know have cameras. And is there any type of connection where the residents are registered with the police department, where the police department or Chief Sanders can say, oh, yes, Mrs. Soko is registered with the Normandy Police Department, and we did see vandalism done to Miss Jackson. And is that capable, or is that being done, or what?
Chief Sanders, you want
Okay, we need to speak up, please. Up, louder.
I was just asking for an opportunity to answer any questions that anyone has. I'd love to speak with people individually after the meeting instead of tying up the time for
Yeah.
everyone.
You heard that, Councilman Shivers?
Pardon?
If you wanna elaborate more after the meeting, you can talk to Chief Sanders.
No, well, that should be a public forum, if we have that or not. We shouldn't be shy in giving that information out, should we?
Shivers, I agree with you, and I think we could work on that. That's what I was talking about when I said, that we need to have a mechanism to collect the information, and I have some ideas about how we might do that. So I can meet with you too, and we'll see what we can put together for the council.
Well, we've been saying that for a while, but there is no action that has been done. And the gentleman that got up to the podium and spoke, it seems as though the break-ins and the cars and it's going on a continuous basis. So we're not getting any better, we're getting worse.
Alrighty. Is this the only question you had, Councilman Shivers?
Well, yes, it was a question, but Pro Temp, Mayor, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, point of order, yes. Any more questions? Alrighty. I guess it's my turn. I have something.
Yes.
Alrighty. As most of you guys know, I run the River Rookies, and I've been doing it for a few years. We have approximately like 320 kids that sign up every year, and I'm taking on also the RBI program, which is also sponsored through the St. Louis Cardinals and Major League Baseball. And what we're working on right now is trying to bring the RBI regional tournament back to St. Louis. A couple of years ago, we had it up at Hosea Park where we had 52 teams from 15 different states to come to Norman. And Terry, you remember this, come to Norman to play baseball up at the park. We had charter buses lined up in Hosea Park. I don't know if you remember this, Chief, but we had charter buses from Memphis, Chicago, California. So we're trying to bring that back. Hopefully next year, if not next year, year after next. So I'm working with the Major League Baseball to try to get something like that going again. And that's all I have.
How long ago was that, Pro Temp Mayor?
That was about 8 years ago.
Okay, I don't think the chief was here then.
Yeah, she was here. We had close to 10,000 people visit the city of Normandy over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We had every hotel room out at the airport booked. And everybody was converging on our little small city.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to bring it back for next year.
Okay, very good. Hopefully it'll be in your favor.
Hopefully. City's trying to do they're doing their part. Thanks to Dennis. The park's looking pretty good right now. Just had the restrooms redid, and we have new, pickleball courts and new basketball courts, and the kids are really, really taking advantage of that. You know, I'm always seeing somebody on the basketball courts, and I've seen a couple people playing pickleball last week for the first time. So, good deal. Alrighty, so I guess that's it for the reporter. No. We have a city administrator.
All right. I will say very briefly about our website, we do have a new feature on our website, or I guess it is a feature that's been there, but it's now properly working. And it is, you can, when you go to the website, let me see if I can actually share my screen here. And if you go up to this notify me button and you hit that, and then you go ahead and enter your email, whenever we make a post to this news and notices, you'll get an email directly about whatever the notice is. So for instance, one of the first ones we did here was the leaf pickup schedule. I was subscribed to my personal email. We posted that, and I got the flyer directly into my email. So this is a feature that we haven't used in the past, but we are using it now. And so please go to City of Normandy, Missouri, and our cityofnormandy.gov, and hit that notify me button, put in your email, and you can start receiving the updates about the news and notices. We put some flyers on there, as well as some important announcements. And so, in addition to that, feel free to reach out to me, and I can get your email and contact information on our contact list. We've sent out a few blast emails before this as well, and we have a list going that we've been collecting with all our new residents and their occupancy permit applications. However, some of the newer or older residents who have been here longer, we don't have that information. But beyond that, just very briefly for my report of officer, I wanted to go over the results of the citizen survey that we had go out earlier. And I'm not going to hit everything and not dive into every piece of data that came with this, although we will be working with the council as we move forward in the strategic planning process on that. But I did want to just go over some of the highlights and more interesting things that came out of this. So bear with me as I flip through some of the pages here, and I will get this posted on our website. So we did send out this mailer to every dwelling in the city of Normandy that wasn't UMSL student housing. We had 282 people respond either via mail or questionnaires. So for the entire city, that's a 5.5% margin of error with these results. So we can be confident that within plus or minus 5%, that this is what all the residents, even the ones who didn't respond, feel about some of these questions. So up on the screen right now, and I understand it's probably pretty hard to see from where you're at, but the council does have this in their packet, and I will get this on the website. Some of the interesting thing about the demographics of the people who respond, we had 53% of our respondents have lived in Normandy for over 25 years. 72% of them were homeowners, whereas 28 were renters. And then as far as the wards, we did see some overrepresentation in Ward 3 and some underrepresentation in Ward 4, but all pretty close together, all things considered regarding representation of the respondents. So actually moving into some of the results, I'm going to flip through here and just highlight some of the ones that I found to be interesting. So overall, Normandy as a place to live, 14% rated it excellent, 51% rated it good, and 5% rated it poor. Overall appearance of Normandy, poors with 20% rating it poor. Quality of the public schools was the worst rated on this part of the survey, with 42% rating it poor. However, overall quality of life was with 52% rating it good or excellent and 40% rating it fair. Moving on to community characteristics. One interesting thing that I think the city needs to work on, given the results here, trustworthiness of public officials and staff, and overall image and reputation of the city of Normandy. We had 26% and 25% respectively of residents rate us poor on that facet, and only 11% and 4% rating us as excellent. And this is one of the most overwhelming results of the survey, although I don't think it's surprising. A variety of restaurants was one of the things we got rated the worst on, with 50% rating us poor. Opportunities in Normandy, interesting. We got rated poor on most of these. Recreational opportunities, which is one of the ones that we have the most direct control over through any park events that we do. 42% rated it poor, with the rest either rating it fair, good, or excellent. Again, on the restaurant thing, 62% rated us poor on the availability of desired restaurants. However, we do rate pretty high, all things considered, on the availability of affordable housing. Overall, this question is interesting. Over the past 5 years, has Normandy became more desirable, less desirable, or about the same as far as it is as a place to live? 49% said it's about the same, 35% said it's less desirable, 16% said it's more desirable. So if we do the survey in another 5 years, hopefully we can see some improvement on that score. 60% said that they would support consolidation with a neighboring municipality. Of course, the devil's in the details with something like that. This was discussed a little bit tonight, but overall safety in Normandy, 62% rated it safe, 27% said neutral, and 11% of respondents said that they felt unsafe. And there's a further breakdown of the types of crimes in there as well. As far as government performance, the facet that we were rated the worst on was keeping residents informed about important community events and things going on in the community. This is something that we've been trying to turn the tide on lately, but we still have a lot of work to go. But the good news is I do think that should be something that's fairly easy to fix. Quality of services. Police services were rated the highest among the quality of service, with a majority of residents rating it good or excellent. Code enforcement was rated the lowest, with 39% rating it poor, and some other services in there. Overall, we had 39% of residents rate us good or excellent in the overall quality of city services. And this slide is about satisfaction with people who had contact with Normandy employees. 70% rated their overall experience very satisfied or satisfied. 84% said that whoever they talked to was courteous and professional. However, 63% said that their issue was resolved in a timely manner, which is still a strong majority, but much lower than some of the other ratings. Regarding preferred methods of staying informed, newsletter was by far the most highly rated and preferred method, with 71% of respondents selecting it as their #1 choice. I think we had sent one newsletter out about the same time that the survey went out, and we do plan to do a December newsletter and quarterly in 2025. You'll see that most people chose to live in Normandy for affordable houses, or the fact that their family friends are here or they were born here, with other factors being lower. And then priorities. Public safety, meaning officer pay, staffing, body cameras, traffic enforcement, was rated the highest. However, a very close second was road resurfacing and street maintenance. And while code enforcement was rated our worst performing service, it does come in third compared to those other two, with economic development on the National Bridge Corridor and investment in park facilities trailing behind that. And so that's the general summary of the report. There's a lot more to dive into, especially comparing how some of the different demographic groups responded to some of this. I look forward to, diving into that and referring back to this information as we move forward with some of our decisions. But I just wanted to give a brief overview with the public present, and I'd be happy to answer any questions about the survey.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I have just a quick question about this. Well, I wanted to say great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask if you know about affordability of Normandy. Was that for homeowners or rental?
As far as how people answered?
Correct.
So as part of the survey, we were able to select 3 different demographics to kind of look at things by, and renter homeowner was not one that we did. We could pay for it from the people who collected the data. They could run that analysis, but no, I do not have that information.
Okay.
My question is, do you actually have the data set itself?
We do not.
Do we not have access to the data set?
No. So as far as the individual respondents and how they answered to each one, the scope of work.
Yeah, because we could run our own crosstabs if we
Right.
had that.
But
I thought that, because that was one of the questions that I asked when we were getting this, that we would get the raw data, but we don't have it.
no, we do not have it. I'm sorry if there was any confusion about that.
Excuse me, Sam, are you there? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Ray.
Okay, so what is the population of Normandy, Sam? Do you know that?
With Glen Echo Park, it is roughly 4,300 residents. Could you hear me, Councilman Nelson?
Councilman Nelson? I think you probably got disconnected. Anyone else have any questions? I'm quite sure he'll pop back on sooner or later. Guess he's coming. Have any questions, Steve?
No.
No questions? Okay. Guess we'll move on. All right, city treasurer.
Pro Temp, Mayor Evans,
Yes, yes.
I wanted to clarify a statement that I made. I rephrased it. So do I have to wait to do this?
Go right ahead. You go right ahead.
I wanted to reiterate and say that Chief Sanders was on the police department. She was one of the 2 officers that came to my home when my mom passed away. So that was misstated in my statement, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick wants to be put on speaker, can I do that?
Who was that?
Mr. Moore.
He wants to be put on speaker. Yes, yes, put him on speaker.
Okay.
Hold it up so we can hear it.
Okay, that's it calling now.
Can you They disconnected in some kind of way. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to say something. It's a great effort. I like that effort, but, so you said it was only 5% of the people who responded to the survey, Sam?
No, 282 responded to the survey, and so the confidence of the survey is plus minus 5%. Similar to like presidential polls, you'll hear that plus minus.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, if we got 4,300 residents and only 4,300 and only 200 and some people responded, I don't think it's gonna be an accurate count because it just shows a disconnect. We've got to learn the disconnect that we have for our citizens at City Hall, because the bottom line is the services is the main thing that we need to get to them. And the survey, I mean, we can put all the paperwork we can get together, but you're talking about 4,300 people in the city and only 200 people respond, 220 people responded. That's not going to be an accurate survey, because it seems that there's another 4,000 people that don't even care, you know, because of the services and how they've been treated by City Hall. That is one of the main things we have to try and conquer, you know, because the paperwork and the numbers don't match up. That's all I'm saying. And like I say, good job doing this, but, you know, but we have to reach the citizen, because that's what it's all about. So this survey is not quite accurate.
All righty. Okay.
I would just
Yeah.
like to clarify,
Yeah.
it is statistically valid, so you don't need that large of a sample size to be statistically valid, and it is.
Let me ask you another question. What are the majority of the citizens surveys come out? What ward?
Ward 3.
Yeah, well, we got 4 wards. That's what I'm saying. We gotta think about the 4 wards in the city of Norman, the citizens, not just Ward 3. And I am in.
How they came from all 4
I
wards,
take care of
right?
the citizens in Ward 3, but we gotta take care of the citizens in Ward 4, 2, and 1. And we gotta get their input on what
Councilman-
they need. And I know that most of them don't get their service.
Councilman Nelson, the survey came out of all 4 wards.
The meeting, because, you know, I just wanted to
Point of order.
just need the facts, the real facts, that's all. Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much. And I'm not online, so I'm just waiting, you know. So I'll just be.
Chair, a point of order was called, so it'd be proper to declare whether or not it's proper for Councilman Nelson to continue speaking at this point.
Okay.
Pardon me?
You wanna do-
So a point of order was called, and under Robert's rules, when a point of order is called, the chair of the meeting shall determine whether or not the person speaking is speaking within or without of order. And if there's a determination that the person is speaking out of order, then they shall stop unless they make a motion for appeal. So the chair needs to make a motion whether or not the councilman needs to, his continued speech is out of order or not.
Okay, well, no one said I was out of order.
A point of
Okay.
order was called.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
well,
once-
okay, listen, I've been kicked out of the Zoom meeting. I can't, so I had to call back in. As soon as I started speaking, I was kicked out of the Zoom meeting. So. you know,
Okay, well, you,
So whatever you guys want to do, go ahead and do it.
well, you got your,
What do you want me to do at this point? Tell me.
what was, Rick, you already spoke. You already spoke about the results, correct? Okay, all right. Okay, let's move on. City treasurer.
Excuse me. Good evening.
Good evening.
You all happen to have a narrative for the financial report as well as the report that was prepared by Mr. Johnson. So, I will go ahead and go over my narrative for the financial report. For Part A, summary of the income statement for the month of September. The city recorded a net income of $77,000 revenues of $358,000 versus expenditures of $281,000. Due to that result, city realized an overall net income for the fiscal year of $3,502. That's for revenues of $4.363 million compared to expenditures of $4.360 million. For the summary of the general fund balance under Part B, you have the general fund unrestricted cash balance as of September 30th of $1.016 million. You have a Village of Glen Echo Park project balance as of September 30th of $74,000. Then you have amount held at Simmons Bank of $627,000. Amounts due general fund from other funds of $173,000. And amounts due from general funds and other funds of $3,000. That results in a total general fund balance of $632,000. For Part C, under the income for the general fund, ideally the percentage of budget remaining for income at fiscal year end should be at or below 0%, which would indicate that the amount of actual income was either the same or more than the budgeted amount of income. Unfortunately, the city fell short of the budget amount for income for year end by about $72,000, or 1.6% of the total budget amount. Part D, expenditures by department general fund. Conversely, the percentage of budget remaining for expenditures at fiscal year end should be at or above 0%, which would indicate that the amount of actual expenditures was either the same or less than the budget amount of expenditures. Fortunately, the city did spend less than it had budgeted for year to date by just under $226,000, or 4.9% of the total budget amount. However, when it came to individual departments, some fared better in keeping expenses under budget while others did not. Every department was under budget with the exception of the court, which was only 0.6% over budget. I will again just note that this is not a zero-based budget and that there was more expenses projected than income for the fiscal year. That ends my report.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for the city treasurer? Thank you.
Okay.
All righty, motion to accept the September financial statements.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Old business, none. All righty. New business, Council Bill 2420, first reading. An ordinance of the City of Normandy, Missouri, amending Chapter 110 of the Normandy Code of Ordinance regarding the City Council attendance policy. All right, City Administrator, can I get a report?
Yes, so this bill was brought up at the request of Mayor Pro Tem Campbell. However, she's not here tonight, but she wanted to revisit the attendance policy that was changed not that long ago, about a year ago. Right now, the portion in question is, right now it reads that basically if a member misses any part of the meeting, even if they just miss the pledge and walk in right after that, then they are not eligible for their monthly stipend. She wants to change that so that if they do miss it, they would not be paid, but if they, showed up late, then they would still get compensation. So that's the other part that's being revisited is adding back in a provision that got missed when we recodified a portion of the code regarding the order of business, and that's providing that any two council members can put something on the agenda ahead of the meeting. Are there any questions?
Is that same day of the meeting or?
Yes.
Excuse me, I didn't, I couldn't quite comprehend the last part, Mr. Johnson.
Sure. This bill would add language to chapter 110 regarding the city council, providing that any item requested on the agenda can be requested by 2 or more city council members, and that it would be included on the agenda. So any 2 council members can request something to be on the agenda.
That will still be subject to the sunshine law though, right? So if, you know, an ordinance would still have to be, you know, requested before 24 hours prior to posting the bill of the notice.
Mm-hmm. And then who do we contact for that?
You can contact me, but I would recommend that you put whoever's the mayor, the city administrator, and whoever's the city clerk on that email.
Okay, thank you.
The city attorney as well.
Okay, thank you.
Is it possible? I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Jones, I'm sorry.
No, she's finished. You can go ahead, Councilman.
Yeah, I really couldn't hear what he's saying because I did understand what the bill did because, you know, we had kind of changed it a few times. So can you explain that once again, please? Because I can't hardly hear once again.
It would alter the attendance requirement so that you would not have to attend the entire meeting, beginning to end, to be considered in attendance for purposes of pay. And it would reestablish that any 2 members can put something on the agenda ahead of the meeting.
Okay, so the correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, I thought that if you miss 2 meetings in a calendar year, they would be ineligible to get your check for that next time if you missed another meeting. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so that's 2 meetings. That means that attendance, meaning being on time and staying for the duration of the meeting, even going into closed session, right?
That's how it's currently written.
Yes, okay, gotcha. So what you're doing now is you're tweaking it into what now? Explain that to me, please.
Councilwoman Campbell proposed that basically eliminating that you have to be here from roll call till adjournment. It just does not define what attendance is. So if you show up and participate in the meeting, then you're considered to have been in attendance.
So if you're 15 minutes or a half hour late, you're still here.
Yeah.
It won't be held against you. Did you hear that, Rick? So if you're 15, so if you're,
It's okay as long as you have a quorum on the regular meetings.
Did you say if you leave?
I said, did you say something about you can leave early or something? Is that what he said?
No, what this addresses, Rick, if you're late, the way the ordinance reads now, you have to be here before the Pledge of Allegiance to be present. So if you come to a meeting after the Pledge of Allegiance, you're still here, you can vote, but it'll be counted against you.
Okay, fine, okay, I got it now.
So,
I was a little confused.
yeah,
Okay,
so,
if you're 2 minutes late or whatever, you're good, as long as you're here before the Pledge of Allegiance.
yeah, that was before, but now if you walk in 30 minutes late, you're still here, it won't be counted against you.
Oh, okay, now that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because some, you'll never know what happened. Okay, I'm in agreement with it.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Councilman Nelson, you think you can try to dial back in, just in case there's a vote and?
My computer, they kicked me out of the computer some kind of way when I started speaking, and I can't get back in.
Can you do FaceTime?
Hmm.
Can we do FaceTime on the phone?
Can he do FaceTime?
Yeah,
As long as we, I guess as long as we can see his face, right?
Mr. Nelson, can I put you on FaceTime?
He can zoom in on his phone. He can zoom in on his phone.
Oh, you're supposed to start, I don't know about FaceTime.
I don't think we have any roll call votes though, so it should be
No,
fine.
no, I was just, yeah. All righty.
So what's this the first reading?
Motion for the first reading?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, that's Council Bill 2420.
Well, so we need to do the reading.
We need to do the reading
Yeah.
again?
Well, there was a motion to do the reading,
Okay,
and so now that that's approved, now the reading can occur.
and this 2420, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
An ordinance of the City of Normandy, Missouri, amending Chapter 110 of the Normandy Code of Ordinance regarding City Council attendance policy.
That's
Motion?
perfect. No, you don't need a motion, because you have a motion to do the reading, and so now that you've read it, everything's been accomplished that we need
Okay.
for that.
So we can move on.
Yes.
All right. Council Bill 2421, first reading. An ordinance of the City of Normandy, Missouri, amending Chapter 355 of the City of Normandy Code of Ordinance regarding traffic exemptions. All right, City Administrator.
So Bill 2421 is about residents who request handicap parking on the street. So we've had a few requests, and the city in years past has just handled requests without an ordinance. But this would establish an ordinance and a system and a permitting process for getting a handicap space outside of one's house on the street. Andy, our city attorney, was kind enough to do some research, and this is something that we do need to offer residents to be, in utmost compliance with the Americans with Disability Act. So we do need to have some sort of avenue to get this established if the resident does not, have adequate access on their own property and can benefit from street parking. This would basically lay out a process to make that happen. They would fill out an application. There would be an application fee to cover the purchase and striping of the sign and the blue paint. And then once the permit is reviewed, then it would go up. And if there are any questions, I would be happy to try and answer it, or Andy can answer it. And again, this is just the first reading, so not looking for passage tonight.
Any questions? Any questions? No questions? All right, so I'll read it again once.
Well, motion. There needs to be
Okay.
a motion for a reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All, any opposed? No? All right. Moving on.
Now read it.
Now we have to read it. An ordinance of the, Council Bill 2421, first reading. An ordinance of the City of Normandy, Missouri, amending Chapter 355 of the City of Normandy Code of Ordinance regarding traffic exemptions.
Exceptions. You said exemptions.
Exempt, okay. All righty. Now do we move on?
Yes.
Council Bill 2422, first reading. An ordinance of the City of Normandy, Missouri, rezoning certain parcels to mixed use and directing that official zoning map of the City of Normandy by amending to reflect such change. All right, City Administrator.
So we've gone over this with the public hearing. This is just the first reading, so we're not looking for passage on this tonight. However, now would be a good time, now that we've had public comment, and the council has a chance to review it. If there's any amendments that need to be made to this ordinance, now would be a good time to debate it, or take it to a workshop, or before it gets a second reading and vote for passage at a future meeting. And then if there are any questions about what parcels are included or not included, I'd be happy to answer that. But it sounds like we did get some feedback on the lots on St. Anne's Lane, which the city owns. So that may be something that the council considered.
Yeah, we can. Go ahead, Steve.
I'd like to amend this bill 2422 to exclude the property that the city owns on St. Anne's Lane.
Is that a motion?
Yes, please.
Second.
Steve, I didn't hear you.
I want to amend Bill 2422.
Does she have to be on camera?
The
Do we have
mixed,
to see her?
Not right now.
We don't? Okay.
the mixed
I'm
use,
here.
to leave this ordinance just the way it is with one exception, and that's to take the city-owned property on St. Anne's Lane off of this bill.
Okay. Thank you.
Do I have a motion? Or did you-
That was the motion.
That was the
Okay,
motion.
that was the motion.
Motion
Can I get a
second.
second?
I'll second.
Yeah.
You, hold on.
Well, I had some questions about it.
Right.
Taking it off of, mixed use means that, and we're talking about the lot on which the Shakespeare in the Park was that?
Right.
Okay. So, city owns that. If, and right now that's all zoned, single-family housing.
Hmm?
So to put it in mixed use would give us the opportunity to put 4 townhouses perhaps, or 2 or 3, but some other opportunity to put housing in there, but not necessarily commercial properties. Is that right?
Well, so zoning it as, rezoning that property as mixed use would allow it to be used for any purpose permitted under the mixed use ordinance.
But,
And again, the Normandy land use plan currently designates that as an appropriate parcel for mixed use, but you're correct, it is not zoned that way.
got it. And so what we would have to do before anything would be approved, it would have to come back to the council and for open discussion again, right? Like, we wouldn't just sell that property to an Amoco station. We're not, BP is here, so we don't do that, but, you know, like a Starbucks couldn't go in there unless the council approved
So
that use.
the council would need to approve the sale of the property, because it is our
Right.
property. And then, let's say we sold it to someone, it would depend on what they wanted to put in there. If it was a permitted use, then they would probably need a site plan review. If it is a special use, it would need a special use permit. But not necessarily. It is completely possible that they could come and build a permitted use and only require a site plan review. And that would be the only thing that would come to city council, which is what BP's here for tonight, just for reference.
Right, because you're changing the footprint there. What I've heard from people is that to intrude into that neighborhood with a commercial property, and I believe what was there before was a home of some sort.
I think it was an assisted living.
Assisted living facility, yeah.
There's no
So,
rehab.
but,
Drug rehab.
and I think that was problematic for some people. And so what we wouldn't want to see is that.
Right.
However, if someone wanted to build 2 duplexes there, would that be objectionable to people? I don't know.
So it's zoned single family, so you couldn't build a duplex, you could build, but it is 2 separate lots, so you could build 2 single family houses where that is right now.
the way it is right now, but if we made
They
it,
could be group homes, that's permitted in single-family use, but, yeah.
but you're talking to build from scratch on that lot.
Yeah. And I will say, if the city wishes to rezone it mixed use, there's nothing that would, prohibit the city from maybe, say, establishing a park on it. However, it would open the opportunity to potentially sell it. So it's a question of, do we want to open that door and move in that direction, or do we just want to keep it how it is now?
Not to muddy the waters even further, but that's what I do, the choice is not just between leaving it single family or zoning it mixed use. The question right now is whether to rezone it as mixed use, but if the council thinks that it would be an appropriate candidate for a duplex or something like that, it could be, for example, removed from this ordinance, not rezoned mixed use, but then the question of rezoning it to C, two-family, right, or D, multifamily, it would be an option too, right? There's a lot of different options there if the council wants
So
to
it doesn't have to go.
a deeper discussion about the most appropriate use of that particular lot.
Yeah, maybe I think we should discuss it a little bit further, because it's just first reading, we can always,
Well, again, the motion on the floor is
It's
to amend the
excluded.
current ordinance to remove 3715 St. Anne's Lane and 3715 St. Anne's Lane A from the current rezoning ordinance. So the other rezonings could proceed, and then the question of what to do with St. Anne, 3715 St. Anne's would be a separate question for the council to discuss.
Okay, so we can exclude and still
So
discuss it.
I second Steve's motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Okay.
Oh,
Aye.
Aye.
all opposed? Ayes have it.
Pro temp mayor, may I ask a question, please?
Council Bill 2422, first reading. All righty. You have a question?
I do. Now, and I've been meaning to inquire about this, but that auto repair or whatever it was by CNC Auto Parts.
Point of order.
Yeah, point of order, please. Yeah, we're moving on to Council Bill 2423.
Hold on.
Okay. When can I ask about that?
When can she ask about that?
Okay. Well, just separate from that, we amended Council Bill 2422. We still need to have a first reading on the bill as amended.
Okay.
But then you can go back to, you do need to rule on whether that's relevant to the council bill.
Yeah, it's not relevant to the council bill. All right. So
It's about the zoning.
Shivers, is this relevant to the Council Bill 2422?
No, sir, it's about zoning.
Okay. Now, we're moving on, Councilman Shivers. Can she ask that question later, or? I mean, because it's not part of the council bill, so we're moving on.
Right, that parcel is not in part of this reason.
Yeah, it's not part of the conversation, Councilman Shivers.
Again, that seems like a question that could be directed to Pro Tem Campbell, the city administrator, right? For discussion, and then potentially brought up at a workshop to discuss.
Yeah, we can bring that up at a workshop. Councilman Shivers?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, amended Council Bill 2422. First reading. Do I have to read it again?
No, you need a motion and a second.
Okay.
I make a motion to amend to
have the first reading as
to have the first reading of the amended
to exclude
2422.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Council Bill 2422, first reading. All righty. Let's move on. Council Bill 2423, first reading.
Hold on. You gotta read the title. real quick, I'm sorry.
The
I know you've read it a
Yes.
couple
Yes,
times.
I know.
This is the one that counts.
Council Bill 2422, first reading. An ordinance of the city of Normandy, Missouri, rezoning certain parcels to mixed use and directing that the official zoning map of the city of Normandy be amended to reflect such change. Do I need a motion?
Nope, you're good.
I'm good.
Move on.
All right, we moving on. Council Bill 2423, first reading. An ordinance of the city of Normandy, Missouri, amending chapter 405, article 14, section 405.
Chair, you don't need to read the whole thing. We can
I don't
just-
need to read the whole
Not
thing.
right now. Let's just,
Okay,
we
Council
know
Bill
what we're
20
talking about.
Council Bill 2423, first reading. All right, Sam.
All right, we covered this earlier in the meeting. This changes the time for the P and Z to render a decision from 30 to 120 days.
And we talked about this earlier.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions?
This doesn't mean that everything's gonna take 120 days. That just gives
No,
them some
no, just give us a little
latitude
leeway.
if they need it.
Right. Thank you, just in case. Any questions, Vic?
Nope.
All right. Motion for first reading.
I make a motion.
All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
What part of that do you have to read?
Hmm. The part. Council Bill 2423, first reading. That's it.
Hold it. Read
Whole
it by
thing.
title.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Whole thing. Council Bill 2423, first reading. An ordinance of the city of Normandy, Missouri, amending chapter 405, article 14, section 405-795, initiation of change, reference to and report of zoning and planning commission, public hearing by altering the time within which the zoning and planning commission must deliver recommendations and report to the city council. All right. So we don't need another motion.
No.
That carry. All right, moving on. Resolution 2453. All right, Sam.
Yes, this resolution would grant a liquor license to City Jump and Rochelle B. It would be liquor by the drink, all kinds, and service on Sunday as well. We had the public hearing. She is eligible for the liquor license. Now the council just needs to debate and vote on the approval.
Any questions? No questions? Any, Councilman Shivers, you have any questions? Resolution 2453?
I do not at this time. Thank you.
All righty. Councilman Nelson? Is he there? All righty. Can I get a motion on resolution 2453?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
You said aye.
He said aye.
Yeah.
Yes, aye.
All righty. Resolution 2453, a resolution of City of Normandy granting a liquor license to City Jump LLC for service of liquor of all kinds and all kinds on Sunday at 7400 Natural Bridge Road.
We good?
All right, the motion carried.
Motion carried, so I didn't have to read it again.
Resolutions are different.
Okay. I'm learning. All right. Motion carried. Congratulations. Ty, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just curious as to why he opposed, so I can make sure that I don't have that problem.
Nobody opposed it.
Oh,
I don't think
okay,
anyone
he said
opposed.
aye. He said
Nobody
aye.
opposed.
Oh,
Yeah, we're all good.
okay, yeah.
I'm good.
Thank you.
You
All
good.
right.
All right.
It's a war. I mean, it's a. Thank you.
Motion carries. All righty. Resolution 2454. Okay, Sam.
So this resolution would grant approval of the site plan for United Mart BP at 7430 National Bridge Road. We just had a public hearing on this, so now would be the time for the council to ask any additional questions or debate approval, but we've already talked about it, so.
Well, I have one question. I noticed that you guys park cars around there, around the backside of trucks. They're not there anymore?
No, it's been gone, the very first day it's gone.
Oh, it's been gone, okay. That's probably why I haven't noticed them.
Trash can trucks, yeah, used to.
Because prior
see
years that you just had a lot of trucks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You follow the city's ordinance that day.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Not me.
Rick, you got any questions?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Councilman Shivers, you have any questions?
Not at this time, Pro Temp Evans.
All righty. Can I have a motion, resolution 2454?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, resolution 2454, resolution of the city of Normandy, Missouri approving an application for site plan review for United Mart BP 7430 Natural Bridge Road. Motion carried. Congratulations. All right. Resolution 2455, resolution of the city of Normandy, Missouri authorizing, resolution 2455. Okay, Sam, we're not gonna go there. We'll wait afterwards.
Yeah, and maybe you could better speak to this, Councilman Evans, but this is authorization to enter into the agreement with Cardinals Care for the Redbird 2025 Redbird rookie season.
Okay. So, guys, God, I just seen the application too. At the very end.
Yeah, at the end, I figured.
Okay, can I see that for me? Just pull it out. So I can have a better look at it. What I had, man. Oh, here it is, right here. All right. Now, what we're looking at is the Redbird Rookies 2025 League Registration and Agreement. Okay? And every year, the league organizer, which is myself, I have to fill this form out.
Okay.
And city isn't on the line. I have to promise and guarantee that I have at least 75 kids to sign up in the city of Normandy. Roughly, we've been running around 220, so we're okay there. I also have to guarantee that I'll make sure these kids attend all events, have read books, and attend all off-field activities. So that's what this is about. And we normally didn't do it, but Sam thought it would be a good idea to bring it to the city council this year.
Yeah, on the legal side of things, and we have done this for like 20 years. But one, it is an agreement, so it is something that the city council should authorize. And then two, and we've done this for 20 years, we do identify Cardinals Care and take on basically liability for running the league. And so, of course, Cardinals Care helps greatly with the background checks. And we do have some waivers that we have all the kids sign, and we're working with our insurance carrier this year to institute a concussion protocol program. But Redbird Rookies, it's not just on our field, it ultimately is our program, as the city, and so it is the city's agreement to enter into, so.
Yeah, and another thing, all coaches have to have an extensive background check, okay? And it's done through Cardinals Care. They cannot register to be a coach until they complete the background check, you know? And it's kind of like a nationwide background check, so it's very thorough. And since I'm a league organizer, and I've been doing it for 18 years, I have to do one every year. And I get tired of it. I'm like, guys, you know me, but I have to do one every year. And as far as the waiver, Cardinal Care requires all the coaches and children to complete a waiver. Okay?
A waiver of liability?
Yeah, waiver of liability online. Before they complete their registration, they have to complete the waiver. And one thing I did talk to the Cardinals about, Andy came up with a waiver too for the city of Norman.
Okay.
So we can attach that waiver to the website, so they'll complete Cardinals Care waiver, and then they'll have to complete the Norman waiver. So it's two separate waivers that they have to complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll also say, in the 18 years that Councilman Evans has run it as league organizer, I don't think we've had any claims, at least not that I'm aware of.
No.
So it's been running pretty smooth, but just getting the paperwork squared away.
And it's understandable that as far as, bring it to the council. And I like the idea because I didn't, when Andy came up with the waiver, because he gave me the waiver and we was already playing, and I went out and had all the parents sign a waiver, and I got them all up in the concession stand. All of them signed it, didn't have no problem. But I noticed that, and I talked to Jennings. Jennings has their waiver on the website also, and I didn't know that. So they have to complete the Cardinals Care waiver and the Normandy waiver to proceed. So if they don't complete any other waivers, they can't play.
Okay.
And most of the parents was like, well, you're saying if they break their leg, well, you're all not gonna pay. I'm like, I'm not saying that. We can't sue. I'm not saying that. So we got two waivers in place now.
So you need a motion.
Oh, we need a motion. Is that it?
To approve the resolution.
Yeah, we need a
Make a
motion.
motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution.
You don't need to read it, it's not an ordinance, it's.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well done.
The discussion.
Discussion of suspending November 28, 2024 City Council meeting. Workshop meeting.
That's Thanksgiving.
That's Thanksgiving. Unless you wanna cook Thanksgiving dinner or just everybody show up.
Do we wanna reschedule a workshop? Do we need another one?
Or can we just?
No.
What was that, Shivers? You don't want to schedule?
No.
We have deferred some things.
I'm gonna be out of town for the holidays, then hopefully everybody else will be with their families.
Yeah, we're not gonna meet on Thanksgiving.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't gonna suggest that. I was gonna ask the question of whether or not we need to reschedule it.
Yes,
You want to reschedule it or cancel it? Is that what you're saying?
reschedule.
So I don't think we had a workshop last year. It's just a question of, does the council feel that the workshop is needed? We had a few first readings tonight, however, they don't seem to be controversial bills. So if there's anything tonight that you feel like want to be have discussed before the December meeting, then I would say workshop may be needed. However, if everyone's pretty comfortable with the bills, then it's not needed. Also, the question of picking a date that we'd actually have a quorum for.
Got it. That was just the question.
All right.
Good. So,
What day are you thinking?
Yes, I think it'd be appropriate for a motion to suspend the November council workshop.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, everybody unanimous. Ayes have it.
And do you wanna, what date?
No, we're not gonna.
We're not gonna have it.
Yeah, we was being suspended.
Okay.
Good.
All right, citizen comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Are we done?
We got somebody on.
Oh, we got somebody on the line?
Yeah, so
You already home,
We
Rick?
can make if we wanna make a motion.
We know.
So we have a motion on the floor?
Do we have, yeah, Rick. You have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Bye. Have fun. You're welcome. No problem.
Meeting is adjourned.
Okay.